Hi, this is Michael Adams from Stock-Telegraph International. I'm in Vancouver with Rob Dinning, who's President and CEO of Simba Energy, trading on the TSX Venture, and the ticker symbol is SMB. I would like to get an overview from Bob about the projects of Simba in Africa, how he feels about Simba being the next potential Africa oil, and maybe get some more insight and information that make an investment decision easier for you. Bob, first of all, thanks for taking the time. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me and give me an update on Simba. Simba is trading on the TSX Venture, and the symbol is SMB. And your projects are in Africa. Yeah, Simba is, I think, is that a lion out of Africa?
It's Swahili. It's from the Swahili language, meaning lion.
Yeah, that's right. So I wasn't that wrong.
No, no, you're dead on.
Good. Could you just, as a starter, could you give us like a general overview on the companies, about the projects, and maybe kind of cherry pick your best project?
Well, just starting 6 or 7 years ago, Hassan and I got together, and we were both primarily in the mining business, and we were looking at Africa as an opportunity for new development. So Hassan went over to Liberia and was looking for mining claims, and happened to be out near the Monrovia airport, and saw a field there that had oil seeps on it, which he thought were oil seeps, but he wasn't sure. So eventually we called a geologist friend and have him come over and look at it. And all of a sudden we said, well, there's an opportunity in oil. There's no oil showing up in Liberia. So we decided to pursue oil and drop the mining side of it. So that, as a result of that, we backed into a company called Gold Star in 2009, and then changed the name to Simba Energy. So
that was an RTO? Reverse takeover?
No, it was just that there was a change of control at the director level. I came on first, and then we brought on new directors, which changed the management, and then we changed the management, and I became CEO in the fall of 2009. And we appointed Hassan as a field operations manager because he was spending more time in Africa. And in 2009, we started spending all of our time actually on this oil pursuit. And in the year 2010, we got an idea that through some friends that the area of Kenya was available and there was opportunities. So we arranged a discussion with people in Kenya, and were able to, in the summer of 2011, get a PSC in Kenya. And at the same time, we were introduced to some people in Guinea, and were able to, just after that, negotiate a 60% interest in a PSC with some other people who were in the process of dropping out. So all of a sudden, by the end of 2011, we had PSCs in Kenya and in Guinea. We hadn't pursued it further in Liberia because they were going through a change of law in the oil industry, and we developed very good relationships with the government of Liberia, and we always kept in close touch with them, as we do today. And we just pursued Kenya more aggressively, and then coincident with that, in the areas around us in Kenya, other people were discovering oil. And so it just forced us to accelerate an exploration program in Kenya. And at the same time, we had an opportunity to go to Chad. So we then added a third one, which we've done very little work on right now because we're negotiating with some people to come in with us on that. But our focus today is Kenya and Guinea primarily, and a more secondary nature, it's Chad and Liberia.
That's a really good overview. Bringing up the name Africa Oil, which was a huge success in the market, and everybody's looking, like every investor is looking to find the next Africa Oil. Could you make any comparisons there?
I think we can. We're junior to them, obviously. Keith Hill runs Africa Oil and does a very good job of it. Africa Oil have a discovery coming down what's called the Ansa Basin, which comes down onto our property. And they've had drill results there. They're drilling the Sala right now. They've already discovered gas there, and they anticipate discovering oil. Now that flows right on to our property, and we anticipate that it's going to be an extension of their property, and we've already conducted FTG on the property, and we're analyzing that as we speak right now. At the same time, to the north of us, the block above us is owned by Afrin, and they have discovered a prop on the Bandera, which flows down into the north end of our property. So we have two distinct separate areas on our block that are very attractive, and the FTG that we just completed has shown that there be significant hydrocarbons there. We don't know whether it's oil, gas, or water, but we're in the process of determining that right now, and we're contemplating a seismic program.
So let me ask you a question. So you are in a pretty good neighborhood, with Africa Oil and Afrin.
We've got good results around us.
Right. And so what's the your vision, your plan for the company? Is it really to bring it into production, or is it to prove up the oil and then being taken out, or what's your end goal?
In many ways, we're a junior exploration company, and we're not unlike in the mining business. You're either an exploration person or a mining person or a producer. They're different fields, and they take different amounts of capital and expertise. Our whole concept is to prove this field. That means that we have to do some seismic and eventually do some drilling. Once we have the seismic will determine the drill holes where we drill. And then at that point, the normal process is to seek out a partner who will come in and do the drilling on an arranged split on the asset itself. So that's conventional, and at the moment we're contemplating the same thing.
And are you already in talks with some of these companies around?
We have a data room that certain companies, if they come to us and have an interest, we give them access to the data room, which gives them more detail of the FTG and other technical information we have on the property. So no, there are several companies that are looking at it right now. In spite of the atmosphere in the finance area, which is, it's been a little bit soft for the last
tough,
1 to 2 years.
Right now,
But the larger companies don't seem to have that problem. They generate cash, so their issues are different.
That's the good thing about the oil business, right? So cash, as you mentioned, cash is always an issue. So what's your cash situation right now, and what do you think you need to achieve the next couple of milestones?
At the present time, our cash is relatively low, even though we just recently completed the financing. We had a lot of debt that had accumulated over the last year and a half, and we've been able to take care of a good portion of that. Going forward, we know that we are going to require funds for completion of the FTG and to do some seismic. So we anticipate one way or another raising $3 to $5 million, or arranging with another company to come in on some arrangement to do the work. We are pursuing both at the present time, just to gauge what's available and what's not available. Because that's the stage we're at the present time.
Because at trading around 6-7 cents, it would be a huge dilution.
It's very dilutive if we do it ourselves, but you got to measure that against the success factor of farming out. And we think we've got excellent prospects right now. So it's a little bit of an internal discussion right now as what is the best way to go. We think that we've got a good property, which is the main thing. If we can increase the value of the property, that's critical, because you monetize the asset. And that's our game plan, is to monetize the asset.
No, and it's of course, a lot of the shareholders hate dilution, like everyone. But if you can turn, let's say, you do a financing,
and you make it more valuable,
and you turn $1 into $10, then it makes sense.
And I can quote only what Africa Oil did. They were trading in the pennies, and they got up to $10, $11 with good discovery. The market has hurt them a bit this last year and a half. But they're still trading around $6 right now,
Yep.
which is a long way from 10 to 15 cents.
That's right, I agree. Okay, that was a very good first introduction to the company. Of course, I'm going to follow the company, and we're going to hook up over the next time to go into more detail. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.